What's up, guys? We're here with,
James Julius, owner of Harbour Club.
and I'm here today to do a little bit of a little talk, a little interview, kind of like a podcast. I'm here in Harbour Club, and James, I wanted to ask you, what came the idea? Because I know you started clubs in like London and England. What came the idea to come to Miami?
So I've been in the industry for a long time. Obviously, as you said, originally from London. I worked at Annabelle's, Harry's Bar, George, all the rest of them. Moved to New York sort of 10 years ago and opened many restaurants for Major Food Group in my time. And then moved down to Miami and really saw a gap sort of after COVID to bring sort of what a really true membership club is to me. And what that means to me is a home away from home. Some of my members can come multiple times a week for different occasions. You know, if they don't want to cook on a Tuesday, they can come and have a bowl of pasta in our Italian restaurant. But on the weekend, if they want to come and board out and do caviar hand rolls in our Japanese restaurant, they can do that as well. Really making a place where they can come multiple times a week. They don't think twice about coming and sort of meeting like-minded people, you know, while they're at it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I've been part of this wonderful club for a week or two, and I really feel at home, as you said. You know, you really try to make it feel like a second home, like you said. So, members, right? What do you look for in a member to see if they're suited for your club?
It's a great question. For me, it's really someone that obviously appreciates the finer things in life, likes great food, likes great service. But I'm also looking for people that spend the majority of their year. So at least 6 months here in Miami. I want people that want to use the club multiple times a week. You know, we're building a community here and we do a lot of events, and I want people coming to the events, coming to the restaurant, you know, every week. You know, our co-working space upstairs, which I know you've been enjoying the last couple of weeks. You know, you can start your day here and stay till, you know, 2-3 o'clock in the morning if you so wish. You don't have to leave.
Yeah, because this place overall is absolutely beautiful. What came in mind when designing this versus the Italian place versus the palm room? What was the different ideas between having so much difference between this, that, and that?
So, you know, obviously I inherited a second generation space, so I was confined to an extent of what I could really do, but I knew sort of what I wanted to accomplish in making sort of 3 distinctive spaces that all really spoke to one another. Obviously in Arriva, it's, you know, our Italian restaurant, it's open to the public, it needs to be inviting. People have a preconceived idea when you walk into a restaurant that has white tablecloths that it's going to be a stuffy restaurant, but how do we make people feel welcome and it be a welcome environment as soon as you walk in? You know, the design is sleek, sophisticated. Obviously, as you move into the palm room here, this is sort of our speakeasy restaurant. It's a lot darker, it's a lot sexier, it's more elevated service. And then obviously in palm room, by day it's our co-working space, and by night it transforms into a nightclub. You know, the palm room comes from us being in Miami, a lot of palm trees everywhere, and as you see the lights, which we'll show you upstairs after, we have custom palm lights, you know, creating a space that works both in the day but also when the lights get turned down and people want to have some fun, it sort of doubles up for that as well.
Yeah, that's great. Because what I've noticed is everything here is insanely thought of. Like every single, where you place your chopsticks, or what is it called?
Chopstick rest.
Chopsticks, yeah. With the tablecloth, the cutlery, everything is just amazing thought of, and I want to give you props for that because I have been going around the whole club. It's amazing. One thing I wanted to ask you is, you've lived in New York, you've lived in England, you lived in Miami, and I'm sure a bunch of more places. What's your favorite place to live long term?
Long term, I've fallen in love with South Florida, Miami, the way of life. It's, you know, we joke about it, that it's sunshine and palm trees. I grew up coming to the US, to Palm Beach, to Miami as a kid growing up. I had family that lived here, and sort of when I moved here, I had to get over the fact that this was no longer my vacation place. This is where I live now. I love Miami. The opportunity out here is incredible. The life that I can have for my family and my son is, you know, going to be exponentially better to think to what I had back home in London, where it rains every single day and our backyards are absolutely tiny if we even have a backyard. You know, we're on the water 24/7 here, and it's you know, it's the place to be in my opinion.
And then this is more so of a question for the viewers. I'm sure you, since you have this club, you've met countless millionaires, maybe even some billionaires. What's one thing that the richest people have in common? What's a value that they all share?
I think just not giving up. You know, a lot of people have started a lot of businesses. I don't think anyone's first business is the one that they retire on, but being relentless and truly not giving up. And I think what you brought up before, from what I've seen, the common theme seems to be attention to detail. You know, down to, as you said, the chopstick rest, the silverware. I must have looked at 108 different silverware options until I found the one that I wanted. You know, attention to detail I think is key, and you need to know every single aspect of your business in order for it to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's a restaurant, even if it's a business, every single aspect matters, right? Yeah, I completely agree. So, you mind showing us around the whole club? The
Absolutely.
restaurants?
I know some of the art sort of caught your eye.
100%.
You know, we have some incredible works from Nicholas Party to George Condo to Wesselman. You know, you name it, we got it here. There's
I've seen Banksy up there.
We have a Banksy as well. There's about $80 million worth of art throughout the space, so we're very fortunate to have a pretty insane art collection, but happy to show you around.
Let's go.
Start here with My Lady the Queen, which is an Andy Warhol, which you definitely don't see in many restaurants. Over here is probably one of my favorite pieces. This is a Nicholas Party, and then we come down here. I like to call it the Dubuffet corridor. So we have an incredible collection of Dubuffets, and then we come round. We have one of the 3 George Condos.
Wow.
And then another Nicholas Party on the left here.
I think you like him, huh?
He's a great artist.
I agree. What's that? Is that also something from an artist?
This is a wonderful sculpture. Show you a few more pieces as we come upstairs. We have definitely one of the showstoppers is this very large George Condo. So this is the second George Condo.
And every single one of these artworks deserves like at least its own freaking 5-minute video. But there's so many of them, you know?
We've got the Damien Hirst here.
Wow.
With a very interesting name. This painting is called Beautiful Ejaculating in Underpants.
That's very interesting name actually, yeah.